Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Cheryl with Architect Destiny, where we're building dreams, making plans, and reaching goals. Thank you so much for tuning in today for another video. I wanted to do something a little different today. I've talked a little bit about my planners before and just kind of how everything is set up, but I've never really talked about my planning system and philosophy and just kind of how I have, evolved to the point of planning the way I do. And so I wanted to just kind of do that today, just to kind of give you a little insight into my planning philosophy and how my system works for me and why it works. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in. As you can see, I have the two components of my planning system here. I have my Hobonichi Techo Cousin Avec, which is my planner, scheduler, anything that has to do with activities and events and things that I need to remember and tasks that I need to do. That's what this book is used for. My half-year A5 Stalogy is what I refer to as my planner supplement. This book is a fairly new idea. When I first transitioned from rings in 2019, I was using the Hobonichi Techo Cousin and using the daily pages kind of as my supplemental schedules and sections of my planner. And it worked fine because I've never really been a daily planner. Well, I take that back. When I first started planning, way back in the day when I was in college, I got my first day timer and I got the month tabs and the 2-page per day tabs and pages or inserts, and that's what I used. I just bought something and used it. I didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about what I needed, what my planner needed to look like, what kind of system was going to be most functional and productive for me. I just kind of bought something and I tried things, and if it didn't work, I tried something else. Kind of, I guess, what we all do as planners. We just keep trying things until we find what works. So when I transitioned from rings in 2019, I went to the Hobonichi Cousin and I used the daily pages as my supplemental schedules and sections, and it worked fine. But what I realized when I came into 2020 was that, if I continue to do that, all of these supplemental things, reference type things like permanent notes, financial stuff, home stuff that really kind of, surpasses just the year as far as its relevance, that I'm going to have to keep copying that stuff over and over. So that's what inspired me to go to a second book in my planner system, and I decided to use the A5 half-year Stalogy, because I didn't need a full year Stalogy for that. I just needed something that was going to give me enough space to do all of the separate components that I need to have at my disposal in order to help me be productive, to remember things that I need to remember, to a single place where I can go back and refer to things and make notes and always have handy things that I need without having them in a book that eventually I'm going to replace. So that is kind of the evolution of my system from one book into two books. But at heart, I am still a one planner girl. I do not plan in several different planners. I want to have everything in one place. So these books both go in this cover, and you've seen this many times on my Instagram and on my YouTube channel. This is my planner. Both of these books go in here, and I call this my planner, even though there are two books that are components of this system. So just to talk a little bit about how I plan, and I'll start with my calendar, my Hobonichi. But I kind of start at the top of the funnel and work down as far as my thinking and just being systematic about my planning. In this book, honestly, as much as I loved rings, and if I ever switch planners again, I probably will go back to rings. But as much as I love rings, I've never had a planner that was as functional for me as this one. I love the feel and the look and just the concept of having a bound book that when I'm finished with it, I don't have to figure out what I'm going to put my pages in to store them and all of that. I take this book, I'll put a little tab on the back that says 2020, and I'll put it on my shelf. And that is just so, it just provides so much peace of mind and just security, just a feeling of being kind of in control, I don't know, of things, knowing that everything I need is in one place in one bound book, and it just functions for me perfectly right now. I can't imagine changing anything right now. But like I said, I start at the top of the funnel, so I look at my yearly view, and I have a couple of spreads in this book that constitute my yearly view. I don't really use these spreads, but since I bought a kit that had stickers for it, I just put the stickers down. It's cute to look at. But I use this yearly spread to track my holidays, my paydays, my days off, time changes in the fall and spring, sick days, volunteer time, and then floating holidays. And then for my days off and time off, which I mark with blue down here in the corner, it's my color code. I mark with blue. Then I put, however how many hours. If it's just a doctor's appointment, I'll put 1 in the circle. If it's a full day off, I'll put 8 in the circle, and so forth. So this is where I keep track of my yearly overview of what's going on in my life. In addition to this yearly spread, I have this Calendex spread that is 4 pages. And here's where I track birthdays, anniversaries, and doctor and dentist appointments. And then down at the bottom, just any general notes of things that I might need to remember or consider for that particular month. So with these pages in mind, these yearly pages, I go to my monthly, and I'll just flip to July since that's where we are. And when I'm doing my monthly planning, I go back to these pages and I put in all the applicable information first. I put in birthdays and anniversaries. I put in any doctor and dentist appointments and things like that, just kind of as my basis for my month. Then I plan around that. If I know of any work things, any meetings, and so forth, I put those in. And then weekly items as they come up and are scheduled, I put those in. So that's kind of how I translate my yearly spreads to my monthly spreads. I also establish kind of goals or to-dos for the month, and I do this in 2 places. I have goals here, which are more detailed tasks that I want to do for the month, but I also have here in my dailies kind of a broad overview of goals for the month. These are like big ticket items that I want to do for the month. I want to get my electronic notary license. I want to make sure I exercise 4 times a week. I want to finish setting up my Amazon store. I want to finish reading White Fragility. I want to lose 3 pounds. I want to do some work on my YouTube channel. I want to help my son, who's going to be a senior in college, set up his LinkedIn. These are like big things that I want to do for the month, like big goals. These are like monthly to-dos that I use to plan my weeks. So I start at the top of the funnel with my yearly, then I go to my monthly, then from my monthly I go to my weekly, from my weekly to my daily. So these are like things that I want to do in the month that are a little more detailed. So from my monthly spreads, I go to my weeklies, and I'll just go to this week. And so I translate what I have here to my weekly spreads. And as you can see, I have July running task list that I use to plan my weeks. So I'll pull from here to plan my weekly running task list. And then if I have things that are day specific, then I put those to-dos on the day. Otherwise, I kind of work this list throughout the week, and just wherever I can fit these things in, I do them. So if I have a really busy day, I'm probably not going to get to many of these things on that day. If I have a day that's less full, then that's when I look over here, what can I knock out today? So I love running to-do lists because it gives me the freedom to do things whenever they fit into my life and to my day. So the weekly spread for a long time has kind of been like the command center of my planner. I like to see my week all on one page. I know what my busy times are going to be. I know what my less busy times are going to be, when I have some flexibility, when I don't really have flexibility. So this has kind of been the command center of my planning system, is my weeklies. But I did decide this year that, and I'll talk a little bit more about the weekly spread, and then I'll move on to my dailies. This weekly spread has kind of evolved as well. I did get some inspiration from the analog planner, and I'll put her on the screen, her Instagram handle. But this idea of kind of breaking out categories, I kind of got from her, and it really is working so well for me. So you can just see the very distinct sections of my weekly spread. My running to-dos, things that I don't want to forget. These things are not things that I necessarily want to do today, but I want to keep the back of my mind. I don't want to lose track of them. They may become formal to-dos at some point, but they're just things that I want to keep in the back of my mind. Then at the bottom, I have my habits, and I'm tracking these weekly. I used to track them monthly, but I found that having to go to a different place in my planner, I would keep them in like the supplemental section of my planner, and I found that having to go to a different place in my planner to tick things off, I wasn't really being that faithful to it. It was hard to remember to do that at the end of the day or during the day. So having it right here in front of me, because I always have my week open on my desk at all times. And so having them right there before me in my weekly, I'm much more likely to tick things off as I do them. Then I have a contact section, people that I need to reach out to during the week for one reason or another. Then I have my meal plan. I batch cook, so I just kind of put ideas for my meal plan, things that I want to cook for the week here. I don't do like a daily meal plan because, like I said, I batch cook. I don't cook every day. I cook probably a couple times a week. So I just put things here that I'm going to batch cook on the times that I do cook. And then we kind of just pop things in the microwave throughout the week and eat it till it's gone, and then I cook again. That's kind of how my family works. Then I have any bills that are due this week. Then I have things that I need to buy. This by no means is any kind of comprehensive grocery shopping list or anything like that. I write that on a separate piece of paper. I kind of keep it on the kitchen counter and just kind of add things as I need to. But this list is like just random things that I need to pick up or order from Amazon or what have you. So when I'm running my errands, which I have places I need to go right here, that's when I'll pick up these things. Or if I'm going to place an Amazon order, then I check here and see what I need. And then this last section over here is my waiting on section. I don't want to lose track of things that I'm waiting on, whether I called somebody or emailed somebody and I'm waiting for them to get back to me, or if I ordered something online and I'm waiting for it to be delivered. That's what I keep here because I don't want to lose track of it. And I keep it on this list until I actually receive it, if it's an order, or I actually get a response if it's some kind of communication. I just keep rolling it to the next week until I get what it is I'm expecting or what I'm waiting for. So that's how my weekly spreads work. So we can flip over to my daily section. And that, like I said, this is new for me this year. I've never really been a daily planner since way back at the beginning of my planning life, but I decided to try it this year. And it has its pros and cons for me. In a way, it kind of feels a little redundant from the week, but it is helpful when I have a lot of things I need to do and I don't really have the space on my week to like itemize everything that I want to do. Like if I did not post on Instagram this day on Tuesday, which I plan to do, then I can roll it in my dailies to Wednesday and put it on that day rather than moving it from day to day in my weeklies. To me, I just don't do that. But in my dailies, I can do that. I can roll things from day to day, even though I might have had it scheduled on a particular day in my weeklies. So from that standpoint, the dailies are good. I have lots of space. I can be more creative. I can, make little notes about things or memories or what have you. I can use some of my larger stickers that I don't have room for necessarily in my weeklies. So that's what I've been using my dailies for, and it's been working out really well for me. But like I said, I think one of the most, things that I'm excited about in my planning system, don't get me wrong, I'm very excited about my Hobonichi. I love it. But the Stalogy notebook, I'm really excited about having all of my more permanent items in a bound book that I can just, when I move to my next Hobonichi book in 2021, this book can go with me until I fill it up. And I don't have to keep writing things over. I'm probably not going to flip too much through here because there's a lot of personal stuff in here and I didn't bother to cover up anything, but I'll show you some things. I'll show you the tabs and just kind of give you a basic idea of what's in here. I did a full flip through of this when I first set it up before I, started filling in the pages. I'll link that video in the cards so that you can take a look at that if you've not seen it yet. But this book basically, like I said, is my planner supplement. I have in this book planning prompts. That's what this first section is, my planning prompts. And this is just a collection of prompts that I have from Better Over Perfect, which I just love them. These are perfect if you're a person who likes to do brain dumping and things like that. These are all ideas and things that can kind of trigger you as far as making lists, as far as things you might need to add to your planner or to your plans. And so I have a whole section with all these kind of prompts. This brain dump trigger list is from Vienna Ortiz. I customized it with, things that are particular to me, like the members of my family. So I have that here. This monthly review list is from Alexis, Miss Trenchcoat. And I think the name of her shop is The Charmed Shop. And so this monthly review came from her. I have some Getting Things Done items by David Allen. These are all things that kind of help me with my planning system and just being productive and making sure that my system is working for me, that I'm not wasting time, that I'm not doing things that are unproductive as far as my planning. So this whole segment is that. This is my personal planning routine. I've shared this in a video. I'll try to remember also to link this in the cards. I have it washi taped into my planner supplement, but I also have this laminated version that I just kind of stick in my planner. It just kind of lives in here like this. And when I get ready to plan, I can just pull it out, put it on my desk, and use it to refer to as I'm planning. So this is kind of my planning prompts section. Then it goes into my notes, and these are more permanent notes I'll just turn to a blank page. Let's see. So this is my more permanent note section. I have lots of pages, as you can see here, that I can just make notes on different things, and just anything, something that I want to look into, something I don't want to forget, just any kind of notes would go in this section. I clip things in here that I need to keep track of, like this sheet of paper where I keep track of my volunteer time and how I spent it for an organization. Then I'm on the board of directors. They want us to keep track of our hours that we spend on board stuff. So I have this little piece of paper in here that I do that. It's just clipped to my notes. So I have my notes section here. Then I have also a reference section. And this is like all kinds of stuff like related to, I might have like what type printer cartridges we use. Probably not going to open this up because there's a lot of personal stuff in there. But what are the printer cartridges we use for our printers? Just like passwords to things that are just not like super secret. I keep track of when I get pay raises on my job, when I get bonuses, how much, and when did I get the bonus. When I got, various promotions or job changes. Just any kind of reference type things I keep in this section. Then we go into our finances, and I think, let me see what I have here. So this is kind of like how I track my bills. I have a calendar here, and I got this calendar sticky notepad from the dollar spot at Target, and every month I just stick a new one in here. I put my husband's paydays. He gets paid every week. I get paid every other week. I put our paydays in here, and then down on this list I have all the due dates for our bills. Like all of our bills, all of our obligations, I have the due dates. So I can look up here and see when we get paid. I look down here and see when things come out. It gives me an idea. In addition to our budget spreadsheet that I have in Excel, between the two tools, I just really stay on top of our finances. These are like our utility bills and things like that, like our phone, our power, gas, cell phones, water, cable, which we switched to YouTube TV. These are just our like monthly kind of utility bills. This printable is from Peanuts Planner Co. And I use this just to see if there's any unusual blips or changes in our utility bills, and if something I might need to question or call the company and find out what's going on. So I just kind of keep track of these here, and I have a few pages of that because this book I think probably is going to last me for probably at least a couple of years before I start to run out of pages in different sections. Then we go to my savings trackers, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. Let's see. Let's go to, this is like our emergency fund or just our basic savings account. And I just keep track of any deposits and withdrawals, the date, running balance of what's in the account, and any notes on the transaction. If we deposited something, what was it? Was it bonus money? Was it a gift from someone? Was it a refund of some sort that we decided to put in savings? If we took money out, why did we? Pay our taxes or whatever. So I just keep a running tab of any transactions in our savings account. Same thing for our brokerage account, same thing there. Then we also I have sections for sinking funds, like for gifts and things like that, but I'm not currently using those, so I just have them all clipped together. I also have, and I'm not going to show these because there's personal information, our health savings account, retirement account. Then for that's all as far as our savings. Then I also track our credit cards, any transactions, whether we charge something or whether we make a payment, information on that, and a running balance. So I have one of these schedules for each of our credit cards, and we only have two. So I'll show you. This is the other credit card, same deal with the tracking. Then I have a few pages of just like random financial things, like college tuitions, miscellaneous financial things, notes on our budget, and things like that. So that constitutes the financial section. Then we have our home section right here. And I have a home brain dump, and this is just like a list of projects or things we need to buy for our house, things we need to do around the house, wish items, just anything I think of that has to do with our home that I want to capture and not forget, I put it here. I also have a meal ideas spread here. So when I'm doing my weekly planning and I am planning meals, that's when I would come here and look at this and say, you know, what am I going to cook this week? And I would get ideas from here and just document them here. And this is kind of how I do my meal planning. What else do I have in there? Just medical appointment reference. This is helpful because, you know, every year, you get physicals, you go to the dentist twice a year, I get mammograms, we go to the eye doctor, just different things. And for insurance purposes, we want to make sure we schedule the next appointment a year after the last one. So I always document when we do certain things as far as our medical appointments and our health goes. And I put them here, and I write the dates in pencil so that I can keep reusing this spread. So my son had a physical last June. This June, it was due for another one. I erased that and put last year's and put this year's appointment. And so next year when I look at it, oh, Cameron went to the doctor on June 20th. He has to go after June 20th this year. So that's how I keep track of that. I also keep track of other important things, like my older son got his wisdom teeth out this year. I just want to remember when he did that and other things like that. He also switched doctors because he's 21, so he doesn't go to a pediatrician anymore. He goes to a regular family practitioner. So I made a note of that he switched doctors this year and who the doctor is and all of that. I also have, let's see, I have a to-buy list for the house. No, this is a new section. This is my shopping section. And this is just a random to-buy list of just stuff. So when I'm doing my weekly planning, things I need to buy, I might check here and say, is there anything on here that I would just want to pick up this week? Maybe things that I've heard about also that I want to try. Like this concealer that I saw in a YouTube video. I was watching a skincare video and somebody said something about this. I was like, oh, I want to try that. So I wrote it here on my to-buy list. So whenever I just take a notion, I'm going to buy that, and I'm doing my to-buy planning for the week, I'll look here. It's like, oh, maybe this week I'll pick that up. So that's kind of what this is. Then I have my coupon tracker. This is awesome, and basically this idea comes from Peanuts Planner Co. There are probably others that have this as well, but she has an insert that's a coupon tracker that I used in my ring planner. And basically, I have a little Target dollar spot pocket here that I stick my coupons in. And then here, I write, what's the coupon? I have, CVS, $2 extra bucks. I have when it expires, and I have a little box. I black it out if I use the coupon. I put an X through it if it expires and I don't use it. So when I'm doing my weekly planning and what I need to buy and things like that, I'll also take a look at my coupon tracker. I'll see if there are any coupons that are going to expire this week. And if they are, I'll pull the coupons. I'll put them in my little pocket that I keep in my planner, and I'll just stick them in here like I have this receipt, and then I'll make a note right here. If I'm going to CVS, I'll put coupon, and I have this coupon. So that's kind of how I do my coupon tracker, and I love that. It just works really well. So I have a couple of pages of coupon tracker. I have a refund tracker as well. And if I take something back to the store or send something back to Amazon, I'll mark it here. Which card is the refund going to come back to? The date that I did the return, and then I check here once I get the refund back in my account. So I have a couple pages of that. I have my online orders, and same thing, the date of the purchase, what it was, or where I bought it from and what it was, the cost, which credit card did I put it on, when I get the ship notice, what date did it ship, and what day did I receive it. So that's how, and I have a little tab here, orders. These tabs that you see at the top, all of these little black floating tabs, are from Martha Plans. So I have a few pages of online orders. Then I have a section called schedules, and I won't flip to that because it has my boys' schools, but these are basically their school schedules, so I can see when different things are happening during the semester, and anything that's pertinent that I need to put in my planner, I pull from there and put it in my planner. And basically I just print their schedules from the computer and washi tape them into my planner. Then this is my, yes, I have a planner section in my planner. These are all ideas that I get from YouTube videos and Instagram of things that I want to try or buy or just any kind of ideas that I capture for my planner. I just document those here. Another page of planner ideas. And I love sticky notes. If I just jot something on a sticky note, I just slap it in my planner sometimes. It doesn't always look all pretty like this. There's a lot of this in my planner because it adds dimension. I love the collage look of it, and it just looks homey and lived in, and I just love that. So you'll see a lot of sticky notes in my planner as well. I have no problem with that. To buy lists for my planner, these are things that I'm like, yeah, I need to buy this. I need to pick this up. As you can see, I just ordered some stickers this week, and I've marked off that I've ordered them. So my planner to buy list. Then we get into my projects, and this is my master project list, and it's a project per David Allen. I believe he's the one that said that. So these projects, I just keep a running list of projects, and then when I get to them, I get to them. And I'll just turn to one right now that I'm working on. I'm already thinking about, this is what my project spreads look like, by the way. And I just created this myself. The name of the project, task related to the project, do I need to buy anything relative to the project, and then any notes about the project. And this is my project where I am working already and thinking about my 2021 planning system. So I have things I need to do, things that I might potentially need to buy. I've already bought my Hobonichi cover and cover on cover. I'm excited. Already done that. And so, yeah, this is my project list. So when I'm doing my weekly planning, I look at my projects, anything that I need to do as a next action from one of my active projects. Do I need to move it to my week? I put it here and go from there. So those are my projects. Then I have, let's see, collections. This is just what it says. I have 4 pages of collections, and I just kind of divided it up to make some shorter lists. Things I want to try, restaurants that I love or either want to try, wines, vacation planning ideas, gifts from my husband, favorite shops, activities, artists and music, movies, songs, drinks, products to try, makeup, date night ideas, and I have room for other lists if I need them. So yeah, this is my collections. Then my personal section, I have just a place for dreams and ideas from me as just an individual. Has nothing to do with my family or work or anything like that. Just for me, for Cheryl. Then I have, let's see, just a notes section, things that I want to try, or just ideas that I might have gotten for personal things like skincare routines or clothes that I might want to buy, clothing items, what have you. Then I have my weight log. I might have to end up putting a big bleeper thing on my video, because I think you probably could see that. That's my weight log. Then another health tracker there. Doctor appointment notes. When I get to the doctor, if I have questions, I write them here. Whatever we talk about and things that she recommends or things that I need to keep note of, like if I started a new medicine or stopped taking a medicine or had side effects from a medicine that I wanted to email her about. Those kind of notes would go here. Then I have, let's see, books that I want to read. As you can see, I'm not doing great with my reading. You can also see that from my tracker, reading before bed. I haven't done that at all this week. I don't know about you guys, but this whole, COVID-19 and the racial unrest and all of the emotions that go with that, and the economy and all the emotions that go with that, and the upcoming election and all the emotions that go with that, and all the changes with my kids being at home and going to school online and nervous about them going to college and, being around people, are they going to be safe? I mean, all of that stuff on my mind, I just have not been very faithful about my habits. And, one school of thought would be I've just been giving myself grace and just allowing myself to live each day, which, is what I need right now. The other school of thought is maybe if I get back into my routines, then it wouldn't feel kind of as oppressive. I don't know. I'm still kind of allowing myself to just have space and just do whatever. But I do need to and want to read more. And I have plenty of ideas for things to read. So that's that. This is my waiting on list. This is like my master waiting on list that I keep here. And then I transfer things to my week that are still outstanding. I have some quotes here, just things that I've read or seen that I just want to keep as motivation or food for thought. Then I have some social media planning. I don't use these very, very much, but I do have some ideas for Instagram, some ideas for YouTube, and so on. Let's see. Yeah. And that's the end of my book. I have some sticky notes in here. I have a pen test page. I have a Tombow page, test page. I have an acetate with some sticky notes and some more sticky notes and more sticky notes, and just a die cut that I printed from Pinterest. So yeah, as you can see, these are more long-term items that I keep in this book separate from my planner, which will be over with at the end of December. But this book lives on and I love it. I love my two-planner system. My philosophy is more of you've probably all heard of commonplace books, where you just kind of capture all, things that you read or quotes or things you want to remember or ideas or emotion. It's, combination of planner, journal, reference. That's what I think of when I think of a commonplace book. It's like a place to capture all things that are important to you. So kind of my planning philosophy is one of commonplace planning. I know lots of people have different planners for different parts of their life. And I say, whatever works for you, that's what you should do. For me, I am a commonplace planner. I want all of my planning and reference and notes and everything that I need when I pick up this book. I want to have everything I need. If I grab this planner, my purse, my keys, and my phone, I am good to go, sister and brother. That's what I like. That gives me a feeling of comfort and security, a feeling of being organized and in control of my planning process. And this is how I manage my life. This book, these two books together, and this planner is how I manage my life. It's very functional for me. Although I do use stickers and I do like for it to be pretty, it is super, super functional for me. And that's what's important. That's what I need. And so, yeah, I hope that gives you, an idea of kind of my planning system, my planning philosophy, how I approach planning, kind of a funnel from yearly to monthly to weekly to daily, and then the interaction between my Stalogy and my Hobonichi as far as my planner calendar and my planning supplement and how those two work together. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope it was helpful. I hope it kind of gave you some insight into how I plan and just what my planning system and philosophy are. Feel free to leave any comments or questions in the comment section. I do check my comments once or twice a week and respond to them, so I will get back to you if you leave me a note. And thanks so much for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate you all so much being a part of my planner community. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do that. Hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Love you. Wish you the best. Take care. Be safe. Take care of the ones you love and take care of yourself. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.